Hello, hello, video 18. I'm happy to say that I'm feeling better today. My wife and both my sons and myself got some kind of cold. It wasn't anything serious. If it was COVID, I'm not impressed. So I went swimming today, hit the gym today, earlier, sort of in the evening. I have to say, this carnivore diet is actually phenomenal. I'm shocked at how well this is working. Um, Yesterday, I felt fantastic, absolutely fantastic. Today, I feel absolutely fantastic. I should have tested this a long time ago, I guess. I mean, it was 4 years ago when I found out that eating fat made me lose a lot of weight. And it was because I stopped eating as much. The fat was filling me up, and I just didn't need to eat. I started eating less, and that's kind of what happened. And I also stopped snacking. I never snacked. Used to, anyway. Um, and the surplus of fat really helps with that. Anyway, I feel fantastic today, too. And I've probably eaten, yesterday, I probably only ate like 1,500 calories. Same thing with today. I'm not eating that much. I'm just surprised, and I don't feel hungry. I did go, when I hit the gym and I swam, that's all I did was swim. I swam for about an hour and a half or so, hour and 15 minutes. And I feel a little bit hungry, but not not nearly as bad as I did before when I would swim. Anyway, it's going really well. I'm very happy. I'm very pleased with that. And it's lovely. Life is just lovely right now. Oh, I'm doing a little gig tomorrow, a little antenna install. It should be quick and easy. Outside of that, there's not a whole lot on my mind today, other than just how fantastic I feel because of this stupid diet. It's not stupid, it's actually awesome. It's an amazing diet. Let me reword that. I viewed it as stupid. I viewed the whole idea as stupid, clearly. That's why I never did it. But now it's like, turns out I was the one that was stupid, which is usually how it goes. Um, I guess, why don't I talk about my marriage a little bit tonight? So, I met my wife at a church. It was about 3 years ago, a little over 3 years ago. And we knew each other. Mm, we knew each other probably for like 5 months and decided to get married. You can do that, by the way. There's nothing wrong with doing that if you're certain, right? If you know what you're doing, there's nothing to be afraid of. When we were talking about getting married, virtually everyone around us had a freaking heart attack. And it was one of those moments that sort of opens up your eyes and you kind of see how people operate. And it's really just, I don't know, irritating. It's really irritating. Especially when you know what's happening, and then it becomes even more irritating. So, you go up to some old granny or whoever. My wife was friends with a lot of old women at that church, and there was mostly old women at that church. But a lot of these old women would say things like, "Oh, but sweetie, you're rushing along too fast. You don't need to enjoy life. You need to experience the world," and all this kind of bullshit. And this is one of those things that I feel like boomers do this. Actually, I'm actually absolutely certain that boomers do this. They tell you to like have experiences and spend your time and money on experiences, and they really mean that, instead of investing in something that's meaningful that will change your life, like money stuff and freeing up your time and using your money that way. Instead, they tell you to go on a fucking road trip or fly to wherever, Cancun, right? It's stupid. Or I think it's stupid anyways. But a lot of these old people resisted it. And it's because they felt afraid, right? That's what we do all the time as human beings. Someone presents us with something, we don't like the way it makes us feel, so then we start resisting it. And we start trying to drag that person down back in the bucket like a crab. It drives me nuts. I hate it. And I hate knowing what's going on. And I hate knowing that because then I know just how stupid the person is. How, I shouldn't say stupid, because they're not stupid. There's just no thought. They have like there's no reflection. I'm going to look in the mirror and try to understand why I'm trying to pull this person's wedding down and like discourage them from getting married. When that's supposed to be a good thing, by the way, especially when you're in the church and especially when you're dealing with young people in the church, because none of them are getting married now. And now someone's doing the opposite of that, and like you want to protest. It's weird. It's actually not weird. It's predictable and stupid, and it drives me nuts. Anyway, we got married. We had a kid really soon after. Again, same thing happened. These same people protesting as if it's their life to live or something. Stupid. Anyway, a little bit of a wake-up call when all that happened, and we we switched churches. Yeah, a bunch of old people there, a bunch of boomers. It was a good place. It was, you know, safe, nice people, but boring, really boring. This is the issue with people who call themselves conservatives. Most of the time, 9 times out of 10, probably something like that, is that they're just so boring. They're the most boring people on planet Earth. No humor, not creative at all, not interesting at all. They just want to be safe and play safe and all this kind of crap. And I don't know, it's boring. But that's a little tidbit on my marriage. Marriage is great. Freaking fantastic. It gets better every day. And you have to get right. You have to get right with yourself and God. Probably, I would say it stems up down here, not the other way around. You can try to make yourself better as much as you want, and you'll always fall short of perfection. That's fine. You just have to acknowledge what is perfect. A lot of things start lining up when you do that. But it is possible. It's possible to do that. It's possible to do this. It's possible to... If you are one of these single guys who wants, traditional wife, number one, I would go to a church. Number two, I would pretty much ignore any woman who's been touched by feminism in a deep way anyways. I would just completely throw them out. They're useless. And I understand if you don't want to, or if you lack the gall to do that, because honestly, I was that way too, to an extent before I got married. It's a weird switch. There's a weird switch that flicks on when you get married, by the way. And it's a good marriage and you're satisfied, and it's a switch that flicks on. It's like, oh, I can't believe how stupid I was with women before. You'll understand it when you get married too. But church is a great place to meet more traditional women. Depends on what church you go to. And the older women get, the more that piles up, and the harder they are to influence, and the harder they are to shepherd. Because you can, even, I will say this, it's a little risky, but even a feminist, even a feminist can be you can be a shepherd to a feminist and bring her to a more traditional life. God, I feel fucking stressed out saying that. I feel not stressed out. It's just like oh man, that sounds too much for me, I'll tell you that. Fuck that shit, man. I ain't risking that. But if you want to try, go ahead. Women really do follow the lead of whoever, they're married to, or whoever they're dating or whatever, right? They follow the lead of the male. I'm not saying it should be that way. I'm saying it is that way. And there's a big difference between those two things. I can tell you clear as day. That's how it goes. The moment you let her start calling the shots, you're done. You throw in the towel. But anyway, go to church, find a okay gal. And if you're truly whatever, you want to call yourself conservative and traditional and all these things, and you're truly that, she'll follow you, man. Especially if she's traditional herself, small town kind of girl, she'll follow you. She'll go to hell and back with you. That's what we've done. Anyway, stay encouraged and stay positive. This is a very important key. You have to be able to bring that light out that's inside of you. People love to look outside of themselves to try to find the answer to whatever problem they have, but there's not like a strategy. It's not a specific strategy. It's not like a place you're going to meet women. Not necessarily, anyways. I mean, look at it this way. If you look at things like a game, which is a pretty good way of looking at things, by the way, I would highly recommend doing it. This is why I say games are valuable, by the way. Certain games in particular, strategic games like chess, Go, even something like Catan, you can glean a lot on a person's behavior. You can understand and learn a lot about a person by playing just a game of Catan with them. But these kinds of games help you think in a different way. So if I'm playing Catan and I'm just randomly, willy-nilly throwing settlements and roads down, I mean, yeah, maybe there's a 1% chance I'm going to win, but not likely, man. And especially if I'm playing against good players, professional players, there's no way in hell I'm going to win by doing that. So by that same logic, yeah, you can find a decent girl outside of church, right? You might even find that at a bar, right? But it's a really piss poor strategy. Why choose the route where you have 1% chance of winning? Well, you could just go the way that has whatever percent chance of winning, depending on you, right? Again, when you play games like this, you come to find that if you get really good, like the really, really good chess players, like the Bobby Fischer bastards, the really, really good Go players, it's not like a specific strategy. Though there is strategy involved in it, the gold doesn't lie in some abstraction or some idea. The gold lies within you, in here. That's where the gold is. And you have to be able to tap into that and harness it, and then, and all this light starts pouring out. And people see that. People can freaking see that. Trust me, I can see it. Before I even called myself a believer, I started noticing that these certain Christian people all have this light about them, and I don't know what it is. I do now. I didn't know what it was, but it's just The best way I can describe it now is their yoke is light. It's that. When Christ said, "My yoke is light," that's what these people have. But they're not, it's not just being nice. It's totally not just being nice. It's being mindful at all times, doing things like being in the moment and not just like trampling over people because you can. Like that kind of crap is not mindful at all. There's like absolutely zero reflection that happens when people do that. And those people don't have a yoke that is light. So, anyway, all that to say, the gold is within. You can have whatever you want. You want a good marriage? Okay. Find that gold and release that gold. And guess what? That's what attracts women, is that light. And you can fake that light, but don't do that, man. Don't fake the light. Because the last thing you want to do is act like you're someone and find someone who's actually legitimately good and have them commit to you, only for them to find out that you're just full of shit. That's exactly what'll happen. Have they any judgment whatsoever? Which women are notorious for having horrible judgment, so maybe you guys will get lucky. Anyway, don't fake it. Fake it at first if you have to. Fake it till you make it if you have to. But get that gold, man. Tap into that gold and bring it out. It's there. It's in everyone. It's just up to you to harness it, channel it, and let it out. Good night, gentlemen. Good luck in your female endeavors.